then he has turned into a believer when it comes to football.
The man has been trained in the science of coaching, so he knows what exactly he says.
Yeah, listen, we know a lot of people that have been trained. They say things and it doesn't go the way they say it. We know a lot of them, most of them, they've gone there, do well, they have like here and so on and so forth. They do analysis and it goes wayward. But whatever this man said, they were exact. Exact. And so when the selection came out, I said, wow. Because when he gave out the selections, I was waiting to see what was going to happen. It's like as soon as he gave out the selections, I believed in it.
Okay.
And that's exactly what found out. Our players were not rushing. If you can keep the ball, but you can't come at us.
Okay.
And that's exactly what I found out. Charlie Cousinazo, if you are there, Charlie, if I had money here, Charlie, I would have taken you out and spoiled you.
All right.
Charlie made have a good morning.
All right. Thank you so much for the call. All right, you can equally send us a WhatsApp message 054-257-1061. I'll take like 2 more calls and then we'll proceed. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Nathan.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, how are you doing? I know you're happy. And every Ghanaian is rejoicing.
Yeah, what's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Oh, Sporty,
okay, all right, please go ahead.
Yes, yeah. My regards to Raymond.
Yeah, okay, nice.
Yes, I told you that I have total confidence in this coach.
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen coaches, but this master. And when people are saying they will be Ghana, you are not serious. There's a strategy for every game. We were lucky that we have won that game yesterday. There's a ball, it's a Semenyo pick from the England almost in England net. I don't know why he did that. That there was a loose ball, and the guy was able to kick the ball. It was going to the net when Semenyo broke that ball. So that one was given us that good. Later they ruled it as a foul, but it was not a foul. If that ball had gone to the net, it would have been a clean goal. As for the penalty, I didn't see it as a penalty, to be frank. I didn't see it as a penalty. The guy was inexperienced. He was supposed to pick the ball over the goalkeeper. He could have scored that ball easily. I didn't see it as a penalty. And we thank God for, I think that the man of match we have gone to Party, or Benjamin Asari.
Okay.
Yes. Party or Benjamin Asari could have been the man of the match. So Judy Bellingham himself was surprised. Why should I be picked as a man of the match when I saw the people who really did the job? So that is it. Our next match we shouldn't go for a win, because even when we pick a point, we have still qualified. If we pick a point against Croatia, we have still qualified. So we should play the same game as we played against England and aim for a point, and then we'll qualify. Have a wonderful day, and I agree to all of you.
All right. Thank you. All right, let's take our final caller, and then we'll get into tactical analysis. The man of the people is here, Coach Danso. He's the crowd favorite. let me take this caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
My name is Victor. I'm calling from Sweden.
Sorry?
My name is Victor.
Okay.
I'm calling from Sweden.
Okay, all right. Please go ahead.
I want to say a very, very big thumbs up to Coach Governor Damte.
Okay.
Starting from the game against Panama, he saw a little that Ghana can use to beat Panama, and that happened. Against Coach Ibrahim, he said Coach Ibrahim is not fortunate to play against Germany, but they did too, and they lost the game. The game against Spain versus Saudi Arabia, Coach Wagner then said that Spain is going to win the game before this, and that exactly happened.
Okay.
You can say yesterday, he said that if Ghana should get something from the game, they should play in 4-5-1 formation, and you can see clearly that was the formation out of position. So he was very, very good. This Coach Governor dancing, he should be integrated into the Ghana coaching staff as the video analyst.
Okay.
So there was one moment yesterday when we are discussing about the game. He said that the game will end in a 0-0. I was like, how can Harry Kane not play against England? How can Madison, Saka, Bellingham, all of them, they cannot play against England? How is that possible? And we are not to be human. The thing is exactly happens like that. So the human right now, you can see I will hide my secret. But very, very thankful to Coach Gavin. He's perfect in what he does.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your call. All right, we'll put the pause on the calls for now. Time check is 8:20. Let's get into the tactical analysis. Coach Kwabena Danso is here. Coach, good morning. How are you? Hold on.
I'm very well. And you?
Good. We can hear you now.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure you were listening to the callers. People are showing you a lot of love.
I'm grateful. And as I normally say, I'm humbled. You see, if we work and the people appreciate it, it makes us happy. And then I'm humbled. What I'm going to say is that I'm going to try to learn more, try to improve, and then give my best to them. Because the love that they shown me, from day one has been amazing. So thank you to each and everyone. I'm humbled.
Thank you to Coach. I mean, this is from me. I think you're doing an amazing job. I have so many people who will send me messages.
Thank you.
And they appreciate the tactical insight, the clarity of explanation, and I'm not surprised. I mean, I know a few coaches, and when you sit with coaches, I always say that if you can see this, Coach Carlos Queiroz can certainly see it, So for a lot of people who are seeing, they are very surprised at this. But I'm saying that Coach Danso knows his stuff. He knows his stuff very, very, very well. Coach, so yesterday, Ghana got a goalless draw.
Goalless. Very surprising. Very, very surprising. By a very good result for Ghana.
But were you surprised?
When I saw the lineup and out of possession shape, I was expecting something similar.
Okay.
I was expecting something similar. You see, Nathan, all the time I say this, that football, you have the tactical aspect, the technical, the psychological, and then the physical aspect. Looking at how Ghana set up and how Ghana played, two very important things helped Ghana. One is the psychological aspect. Two is the tactical aspect. The psychological is first before the tactical with the game that Ghana played. And it explains why after the game, Ghana has 4 points. We are all but set to qualify from our group. England has 4 points. They will also certainly qualify. But why is Ghana happy? England is not happy. Why? It's because of the psychological.
Okay.
That one is not tactical, no. It's because of psychological aspect of football. So, to me, the difference maker was the psychological aspect. From there, we come to the tactical aspect. And yesterday, we explained a lot of some of these things. Now, normally I say this, that after games, when you get the post-match, reactions from the managers, it helps you to really appreciate whatever went on in the game. So we have Thomas Tuchel, the manager or the head coach for the English national team. After the game, he spoke. We have coach Carlos Queiroz. After the game, he also spoke. So first of all, let's listen to Thomas Tuchel after the game.
Okay.
More defensive than in the first match. Defended in a 4-5-1. If you don't open it up with a goal, it's a game of patience. And it's difficult to inject intensity because it's such a low block. I think in the end of each half, we had them. We found our rhythm, found our intensity. The longer the half went,
Tuchel.
Thomas
He said, what I picked out.
Okay.
He spoke about Ghana's 4-5-1. The 4-5-1 that you said would be the best way to play this game. And then he said that because Ghana was playing in such a low block, it was a game of patience. They had to wait and wait and wait. Of course, the breakthrough didn't come.
They didn't come.
But he also said that towards the end of each half,
They had some chances. And that is true. And that is
found
true.
their rhythm.
So the first one, Thomas Tuchel acknowledged that beating the 4-5-1 was very difficult. But why did he say it needs patience? It needs patience because now they are in a 4-5-1 block. So you have to, commit some of their midfielders to come forward and press you to leave a space. That was the reason yesterday I told you Ghana should not think about pressing. So they will be expecting us to come forward and press, but we won't press. We are always going to be, reactive, not proactive. So we wait for you to make a wrong pass, a wrong touch or something before we react. We are not going to press you aggressively. No, Ghana should not press. So yesterday the English were expecting us to press, but no, we won't press. And we surprised them with a 4-5-1 because in most of the games, especially under Carlos Queiroz, against Wales, Ghana defended in a 4-4-2 out of possession structure. Against Panama, the same thing, a 4-4-2. But against England, Ghana switched it to a 4-5-1. And to me, it was the difference maker. I will explain why. Now to Ghana's head coach, Carlos Queiroz.
Okay, let's
with our own Gaza.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I should say congratulations on the draw.
Well, you have to make a decision, not me. What do you think?
I'm Ghanaian and I am extremely happy with the draw.
So you want to congratulate the team?
Yes.
I hope so. They deserve it. I think as you understand, the game is not only about tactics and technical, and it is about emotional, fighting, spirit, determination, concentration. When you put everything in the balance, the resilience, the perseverance of our players, they've been fantastic. They fight for each other during 90 minutes. They accept in a number of ways that the English team, they could play better at the beginning. But with full concentration, we block them, we frustrate them. We finish the first 45 minutes with the English team in our pocket because they completely frustrated in the game. So second half, we keep going with more determination. We keep going blocking, then we start to grow up, and we have our chances to score. So at the end, I think we deserve the draw and the qualification for the second round.
So those were the words of
Carlos Queiroz. So we started by saying it's not all the time that the game is technical and tactical. At times it is emotions, determination, discipline, and all of these form part of the psychological aspect of the game. So Ghana went into this game with two of the fundamentals of football: the psychological aspect and the tactical aspect. The tactical aspect was the tweak in our out of possession shape from a 4-4-2 to a 4-5-1. The psychological aspect did most of the work in the game. Now, with how Ghana played, Nathan, you see, psychology is very powerful. And to me, it transcends even beyond football. In our daily lives, we use psychology a lot, and it works for us. Psychology can make you happy today, whilst you have 0.00 in your account. Yes. Someone might have maybe tens of thousands, but that person might not be happy. Why? Because of psychology, the mindset. And for such a game, I was very much impressed when after the game I heard that Carlos Queiroz, stressing on the point that he was interested on the psychological aspect of the game.
Okay.
Now, Nathan, if you are a Ghana, if you are a Black Stars player, when was the last time Black Stars played a World Cup and qualified from our group stages? When was the last time?
2010.
2010. And do you know the reason Ghana will, fly Asamoah to the US, to Canada to join the team? It's because of his performance at the World Cup in 2010. So if you're a Black Stars player, we've given you Asamoah as an example that he did very well at the World Cup, and that is the reason he is with us now. So if in some years to come, you would also want to be given the same or similar attention or recognition, you must fight hard. And for these things, it is not tactical. No, it is purely psychological. The emotions aspect, the discipline, the determination. These things works in football. I remember my mother told me a story. He's a die-hard Asante Kotoko fan. And most of the time, he says, whenever Hearts are playing against Kotoko, Hearts players will come onto the field and do like, they'll put some hanky on their hands and some powder stuff and they'll beat Kotoko. So Hearts are a draw. I was like, no, this is not a draw. They are using their psychology on you. So once they do that and you see them, so you see that fear. We've not yet kicked the ball, but by just doing that, it is psychological. Psychological. And yesterday, look at how the players defended.
Yeah.
Look at how, Nathan, the players defended. And if there's one thing that I like about this Black Stars team, is their unity, their togetherness. Yes, I'm not with them at the camp, but with the videos that I've seen, with the pictures, that I've seen, there's some level of togetherness within this particular Black Star setup. And to me, once you have that, you see in football, we have what we call the team environment. Once the team environment is right, most of the things will automatically fall into place. The team environment. So why is it that when Argentina are coming to play a football match, Messi will lead, all the players will follow him like bodyguards, and then they will be following their master? Why are they doing that? Last time I was watching Argentina and Messi was playing cars with it is Messi. Messi playing cars with the players. Why is he doing that? Just to build that team environment. Yeah. And once they are able to build a very good team environment, and then they come out to play, each and everyone is going to give their best. And with the Black Stars, I often see similar things. In flight, you will see them playing, cars and all. There's no local player, foreign player, I player discrimination. No. You will see that togetherness amongst them. And with these things, whenever it comes to the field, Nathan, it will show. So today, it's congrats to the Black Stars. The team really did well. The Black Stars really, really, really did well. And to me, I am very, happy with the Black Stars. Now, from the psychological aspect, we are moving on to the tactical aspect. Now, Nathan, if we are analyzing this game very well, the tweak from a 4-4-2 out of possession shape to a 4-5-1 did the magic. In terms of technical quality, England is ahead. And the reason most Ghanaians, were afraid, in quote, was because of the tactical ability of Thomas Tuchel and then the technical quality of the English team.
Yeah.
That is it. But football has 4 fundamentals. So if they will edge us in the tactics, if they will edge us in the technique, what about the other 2 fundamentals? What is the physical aspect and the psychological aspect? And yesterday, after the game, Thomas Tuchel said that it is one of the most physical defenses he has ever faced. So it means that the physical aspect, Ghana, we did well. And after the game, our manager, Carlos Queiroz, spoke about, the psychological aspect of the game. So yes, England, they did well with their technical players and all that. But with the psychological aspect, with the physical aspect, and a little bit of trick in the tactics, we were good to go. That is why all the time I tell you, in football, you can be a very good tactician, but you are not going to be successful. Because tactics is not, football is not all about tactics. So you need all of these 4 elements. And to me, I was very much happy. Now in the game.
Before we proceed, listeners and viewers, you can catch our stream live on Facebook and on YouTube. And you can join us. My colleagues are all here. Michael Asaibedu and Kelvin Owusu are my co-students in the tactical class. Very soon. Yes. The TA is here. Yeah. Fidelis, the coach's TA, very soon he also starts taking his coaching badges. Very soon, Michael, Kelvin, and I will be writing the IA to see who passed and who not passed.
Yeah, Nathan.
Yeah.
You see, Portugal played, and just after they finished, Ghana, we also played.
Yes.
Watching Portugal against Uzbekistan,
Yeah.
I saw something, and I was very much convinced with what I said yesterday, that defending in a 4-5-1 is better than defending in a back five. Now, if you are focusing on this image, Uzbekistan defended in a 5-3-2 formation, thinking that would give them defensive solidity. After the game, how many goals did Portugal score?
5.
But Uzbekistan defended in the back five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you see, Nathan, with this back five, it means that this midfield is 3. And this 3-man midfield cannot cover the entire width of the field. So that means that for Portugal, with players like Vitinha and those very technical players, they can play those passes for their players to receive. But let's look at Ghana. Ghana played with a 4-5-1. So now the same area where Cristiano Ronaldo positioned himself to receive, the same area there is Hurricane. But with this, can the English players locate Hurricane? No. Why? Because of the midfield 5. And to me, yesterday, if there was a player who deserved the man of the match, in my opinion, I would go for Thomas Partey.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there are other players in the Ghana team who equally deserved it. But for me, I would go for Thomas Partey. Nathan, in such a game, the stories surrounding the game, we know them already. We are not going to go back. To the extent that even in our first game, he was unable to play. This is his first game at this World Cup. Most of these guys have played twice. But Partey, it was his first game at the World Cup. And how he used his body feint, how he played yesterday. Wow. That was superb.
There was an example. Guys, was it first half? First half, we played towards the left.
Yeah.
There was a sequence in the first half where he received the pass. He was trapped by 2 English players. Then he did this very interesting thing. Used this, deceived them with his body, and I like, wow.
Nathan, how did he do it? He deceived them with what?
His body.
Body positioning.
Yeah.
Body positioning. Working with top managers, you are going to develop this. Trust me. Body positioning. Body positioning. And for Arsenal, he's been doing it all. That body feint. For Arsenal, he's been doing it. Most of the time, you help them and play out of pressure. It is one of Partey's qualities. And for Thomas Partey, it comes back to the psychological point. For his technical quality, we know it already. He has it. For his tactical intelligence, he has played at the highest level for Atletico Madrid, for Arsenal. So it's there. But for the psychological aspect, Nathan, for all the things that were, thrown at Thomas Partey, and even to the extent that before the game, Spence decided not to even greet him. Why? Because of an allegation. But for Thomas Partey to, give us that performance, to me, it was superb. And it comes back to the psychological aspect. The psychological aspect. I don't know who the team psychologist is, but I would want to, give him his flowers. The team psychologist. And I told you, or was it on the Copa Mundo, that whenever I see the videos at the Black Stars camp, you will see Partey smiling. You will see Partey very, very happy. And to me, it was a sign that he has really put whatever was going around behind him and was ready to deliver. Yeah. And to me, in a Black Star set, yes, I remember one of the games, was it against Congo? He scored a hat-trick and all that. But at number 6, this is the best Partey performance for the Black Stars, because that game he played as a number 10. But at number 6, this is the best Partey performance for the senior national team, the Black Stars. And with this 4-5-1, it meant that they cannot get access, to the central area where their talisman Hurricane was. And Nathan, look at the time. 2 minutes, 16 seconds. So as early as the 2nd minute, Ghana, we made our intentions clear. Again, this was where England decided to form their white triangles. And yesterday we spoke about it. So the white triangle is here, the white triangle is there. Once they have their white triangles, they will be looking for movements, rotations, and all that. But why are you moving? You are moving to move an opponent, not just to move the ball. No. England will form their white triangles. They will try to move in order to move a Ghanaian player to create a space. But that was why yesterday I told you, the Ghanaian, watch them. Let them play. Don't press. Because if you move, we are dead. So don't move. And now with this, once again, Hurricane is inside the defensive and then the midfield line of Ghana. And with this, it will be very difficult for Hurricane to receive. Nathan, looking at this space, the English had Declan Rice, Hurricane, Jude Bellingham, and that was as early as the 24th minute. When they saw in the second minute that starting with only Hurricane occupying this space, it wasn't working. They decided to commit numbers there. And the reason is simple. Commit players into the block, move, try to, take one of the Ghanaian players with you to create a space. But yesterday, the Ghana team, they did very well by not following them. Yesterday, the Ghana, with our pressing, the Ghana players, we were more, reactive than proactive.
Okay.
And to me, that was a very good thing. Wait for them to make a wrong pass, a wrong touch before you react. Don't anticipate and move because they want you to move. So if you anticipate and move, it means that you are going to create a space behind you.
Okay.
So patience. So Thomas Tuchel was talking about patience from the English team. That pass the ball, be patient, let them commit and punish them. But Ghana also had patience. Okay, pass the ball. We are not coming forward. And to me, the 4-5-1 was the game changer. I told you that other than the 4-5-1, any other formation, England would have beaten us. And it would have happened. So I was very much happy when I saw this. And yesterday, a limited, Hurricane.
Yeah.
Was it even 9 touches in the first half?
Yeah.
Overall, how much? 16
touches.
Yeah.
Overall.
Hurricane had a very anonymous game.
These
Yes.
are the numbers that Ellen Haaland produces in terms of touches.
Yeah, that is true.
These are regular Erling Haaland numbers.
numbers.
Regular Haaland numbers.
But for Kane is unusual because he
Highly
gets
unusual.
on the ball
very
often.
He wants to be involved and
Very
play.
involved.
And you see, Nathan, with profiling of center forwards, there are players like Erling Haaland, as Mickey said, they will not be involved in the game. But as soon as you give them that just one chance, he is going to score. For Hurricane needs to be involved in the game before he can do something relevant for you. To me, that chance that he had and skied it, if it was to be Erling Haaland, it would have been a goal. Because Haaland is used to not playing but scoring. But for Hurricane, he has to play to be in the game. And once he's in the game, it means that he will pick up his personal rhythm. And once he's in his rhythm, he's a deadly center forward. But in the game, if Hurricane wants to, drop, Partey is there. And for Partey, he's not afraid of Hurricane. Hurricane, you've played at Bayern and all that. He's also played Atletico Madrid, Arsenal.
Yeah. And they competed against each other.
For
what, 3-4 years?
Yes.
When Kane was at Spurs and Partey was at Arsenal.
So he's not afraid of you. And to me, this change, let me repeat it again. The 4-5-1, it was superb. It was magical. This tactical tweak, it was magical. And it completely, nullified the threat of Hurricane. With England, now, Nathan, after this game, there are a lot of, discussions around the call-up of Thomas Tuchel. Because most people think that in such games, you are going to need your Cole Palmers, your Phil Fodens in tight spaces to try and create something. You see, I said this. Going into a tournament, it is very difficult to go with maybe 2 or 3 faces. No, it's very, very difficult. Unless you've built the team over years. Other than that, it is very difficult to go with 2 or 3 faces, mastering all of them. No, because it is national team football, the coach don't have that luxury of time to build a team. So what you do is that you go with one phase, master that phase, win with that phase, you are done. So Tuchel decided to go with this team, master it. So if it works, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Because if you have to play fail in this setup, you must change a lot of things, not just slotting them in. No, football doesn't work that way. You must change a lot of things. And do they have the luxury of time to build the automatisms within that structure? It will be very difficult for them. And yesterday, Ghana really did well with our defending. Now, with the 4-5-1 and then the 5-4-1, I think I've been able to, explain that part. Let's get into some of the stats from the game. But if there's one player that I would want to, comment on his performance, it is Jordan Ayew. Yes.
The people's Jordan.
The people's Jordan. You see, yesterday I spoke about Jordan. Now, this was Jordan's performance as far as this World Cup is concerned. Jordan has applied more defensive pressures than any other player so far at the World Cup. More defensive pressures than any other player at the World Cup.
Meaning what?
Pressing,
okay.
Some of them were direct. Some of them were passive. But against Panama, 83. Against England, 121. So, yes, most people are expecting Jordan to do certain things. He's not been able to do them. But with his, pressing, to me, at the World Cup, this is the start. At the World Cup, so far, Jordan has applied more defensive pressures than any other player. And yesterday, he did that 121 times, almost 40 more than he did against Panama. So I wasn't surprised that he was tired early. And once again, let's commend our coach for, taking that early decision. Because there are a lot of coaches who would want to wait, let me get to the 80th, 85th minute before I effect that change. But looking at how he was pressing against England yesterday, he in the around 87 minutes that he played against Panama, he initiated defensive pressures 83 times. Yesterday he played around 60-65 minutes. He did that 121. So it means that yesterday he was initiating a lot of defensive pressures than he did even against Panama. So it in turn means that he will be tired more than he was against Panama. Yeah. So if he will be tired more than he was against Panama, you must take him out early. And that is good coaching from Carlos Queiroz to spot that and then take him out on time. On time. He did that on time. And this was the first half against England. 93 defensive pressures. 54 of them were high intensity ones. And it's a record for a first half in this 2026 tournament.
I see.
It's a record for a first half in this 2026 tournament. As I am saying, you see, football has gone beyond, if you are a striker, I'm going to measure you with only the goals that you score. No. Now, football, you see, now people are understanding the team aspect of football. So it's a teamwork. Okay, how do we set up? What do we want in this game? Do we want a win? Do we want a draw? What do we want? So you set up your team from top to down to, fight towards that goal. And in the game against England, I said it yesterday, Ghana didn't need a win for anything. For what? For what, Nathan?
We didn't need
it.
If we got a win, it would have been a bonus.
It would have been a bonus. Just like the boy felt it was a penalty. If that penalty was awarded and Ghana had, scored from that penalty and eventually we won, that would have been a bonus. But going into the game, we did not need to win. We didn't need it. And that is why all the time I say, in playing tournament football, you must be honest with yourself. Game management, very, very important. Now my last bit is about Benjamin Asare. Now, so far there are 4 teams who have kept clean sheet in their 2 games. Argentina, Mexico, Hola Espana, and then the Black Stars of Ghana. Now with these 4 teams, Ghana has faced 30 shots without conceding.
30 shots.
Argentina 13. Have you seen the gap between the first and the second? Mexico 12, and then Spain 9. So for Argentina, Mexico, Spain, you can say they've not faced a lot of shots, and it explains why they've kept 2 clean sheets in their games.
Spain but normally dominates possession. So,
but for Ghana, we faced 30 shots. If you are analyzing the style of play of Argentina, Mexico, Spain, and Ghana, and we tell you to pick the odd one out, it is Ghana. Why? Because out of these 4, it is only Ghana who set up purposely to defend. And once we've set up purposely to defend, it means that we are going to invite a lot of pressure on us. And it is more likely for us to concede. But after facing 30 shots, our goalkeepers, Atizigi, and especially Benjamin Asare, has done the work for us. Yesterday, I was happy with how, as a unit, our players defended, our center backs and everything. But let's give Benjamin Asare his flowers. There were a lot of people doubting him.
Yeah.
A lot of people doubting him.
Michael, before the World Cup, you remember the narratives.
Yeah.
He said, wait until he faces
Hurricane.
In the Champions League, there was a... Is it Bayern PSG?
Bayern PSG.
Yeah.
Hurricane had a shot. I think it resulted in a goal. Yeah. And people were saying, hey, so Benjamin Asare will be facing this.
You see, people felt that, he can only save Atakumi shot, not Hurricane shot. But yesterday, Asare proved once again. And after the game, he was asked about it. His response, speaks a lot about this guy, his mentality and everything. He said he's a professional footballer. Hurricane is a professional footballer. So where's the difference? He wasn't afraid. Facing Hurricane to him was normal because they are both professional footballers. And with this mentality, it means that you are not going to, face him with fear. And that's the most important thing. So with this mentality, you are not going to face him with fear. And my highlight was that save from Bukayo Saka.
Yeah. Because that's Saka's bread and butter shot. He scores that very often.
In the Premier League, against goalkeepers that we rate them top. But against Benjamin Asare, he was able to, produce that save. And once he was able to save that ball, I was very much convinced that, then Ghana, we can get our point. But you see, for Thomas Tuchel, wrapping up, I think that he got his selection wrong.
Okay, what was the problem with the selection?
He gave Ghana too much respect.
Really?
Yes. And I'll explain it to you.
He gave Ghana too much respect. This is a revelation.
They were I think they were scared to a point that we could hurt them in
transition. Yes.
Because yesterday's game was seriously calling for an Ivan Toney.
Yeah.
It was seriously calling for a penalty box presence.
Yeah.
Somebody in the penalty box.
To disrupt.
Somebody to pin center back.
Exactly.
Because you see, Hurricane plays directly opposite Ivan Toney.
Yes, true.
Opposite. This will give you the box presence. Hurricane will come inside to try and play. And with Ghana's 4-5-1, it means that we've nullified that threat from Hurricane. So you need a different profile. You need a different profile up top. But was he able to do that change? No. Again, when I saw his lineup, look at the back four. Just Spence for Nico O'Reilly.
Yeah. A right-footed left back.
Yes. You see, when O'Reilly came into the game, quickly we saw his impact. Yeah. Why? Because he will give you that box presence. So in a game where Hurricane will not give you the box presence, in a game where you do not bring on or you not bring another center forward who will give you that box presence, you need Nico O'Reilly to give you that box presence. But the manager decided not to start Nico O'Reilly because, as Mickey said, they were afraid that in transitions, Ghana were going to punish them. So, okay, with just Spence and then Nico O'Reilly. Spence is a proper fullback. Nico O'Reilly is not. He's now been converted to play. So let me go with Spence. Now with McGahey and then John Stones. We all know that with the ball, John Stones to me is better than McGahey. In the game, England wanted to commit players to free up space. So if you have John Stones, who can even come and play inside as a midfielder, play him, let him commit one of the midfielders, and then play a pass into that space. But he decided that no. Why? Because John Stones is not that pacey
as McGahey.
And again, in their last game, John Stones had some cramps. After the game, the manager said that after the game he had some cramps because throughout the season he had not really played a lot of games. So he felt that okay, I wouldn't risk it playing John Stones in this game. Although his profile would have, suited this match. But no, I'm not going to go for John Stones because I'm afraid in transitions, this Ghana team can hurt me. And it was one of the things that, it happened. And once I saw the lineup, no, Thomas Tuchel, Tommy, for this one, you were a little bit afraid. Now let me touch more on Kamaldeen and then Brandon not getting playing time.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
And then also, can you explain why Carlos Queiroz went for Prince Kwabena Edu, right, as Jordan's replacement?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay, so let me start with that one, then I'll come to the. For Jordan gave us something different from what Prince Kwabena Edu would give us. Now with Jordan, the first one was his relentless pressure on the English team. And I've said that in the game, he was the best.
Yeah.
Again, the second one was Jordan's hold-up play. We needed that. But Jordan will not give you those in-behind runs. He won't give that to you. Jordan, as a center forward, he will not give you the in-behind runs. He won't give it to you. So, at a point where the manager felt that, okay, Jordan is tired, let me take him out. Let me bring in a different profile. So when Edu Kwabena came, now you saw Ghana, the center forward, making those in-behind runs. And it's as a result of that where the clash with Konsa came, and even the clash with the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
If it was to be Jordan, those runs wouldn't happen because Jordan will give you a different profile. But the negative is that once Edu Kwabena is on, that pressing, you are not going to get it. So if you really study the game, when it came on, the centre backs of England, they were now coming more. Why? Because there was no Jordan. Jordan gives you that pressing, but Jordan won't give you the behind runs. Edu Kwabena will give you those behind runs. He won't give you the pressing.
Wow. So it means that, listeners, always remember that when teams are constructed, you have players with different skills. And the best teams contain players whose skills complement each other.
Yeah.
Right? So somebody can do this. The other person can do that. If you combine the two, you have a weapon. So, for example, let me digress slightly. For fans of Manchester United, that has been one of the team's biggest problems. Yeah. Players not being able to complement each other.
Yeah.
It is why a player like Paul Pogba never really
shone.
He never really hit the heights at Man United because United's midfield, as it was constructed then, couldn't complement each other. Yeah. The three players in midfield didn't fit as a puzzle. In other teams, so if you see like the great Man City teams or the great Liverpool teams or even the Chelsea teams of Jose Mourinho, the parts could fit together
nicely,
right? Look, I always say Carlo Ancelotti's team that won the league, the Chelsea team. Look at the front. Balance. Chelsea's balance. They had Malouda who was direct. Yeah. You had Kalu who was direct. Anelka who could float around, and Drogba who was the first. So there were certain games where Anelka and Drogba played together.
Yeah.
There were certain games where Anelka played alone.
Yes.
Certain games Drogba played alone.
Yeah.
Simply because the opposition demanded, when you look at the opposition, no, if I play with Anelka, it will be useless. Let me play with Drogba, he can attack. If I play with Anelka, he can float around. So anyway, that's just a point I wanted to make.
Yeah. So that is it for Jordan and then Edu Kwabena.
Yes, let's talk about the others.
Now, Kamaldeen and then Brandon. To me, I agree with the coach not giving them minutes against England.
Why?
Their style is, in fact, their style was not meant for this game, and this is my reason. Ghana were defending in a 4-5-1. It means that your two wide players, you need players who first will commit to the line, defend better, rather than thinking about transitions. Because for a player, once he's thinking about transitions, he will, be up a little, waiting for the ball to come so that he can run. Now, Kamaldeen is a speedster. He would want that. Brandon, from the game against Panama, showed us that ability. So if you would bring on Brandon, it means that you must replace him directly with Semenyo. You must take off Semenyo. Yeah. No other player, you must take off Semenyo. And to me, with Semenyo on the field, it would be very difficult for me to decide to replace him with Brandon.
Because Semenyo works hard.
Yes, he works hard, especially off the ball. Off the ball. Again, yes, ask me, he has the physicality. And it was one of the things that Thomas Tuchel said, that the defense of Ghana is one of the most physical he's seen in his career. So with Brandon and then Kamaldeen, they are speedsters. They work best when you are relying on the weight to give you, that pace up front. But at that point in time in the game, where Ghana were not chasing the results, we were rather, praying for the clock to run down. So you don't bring on speedsters to try and chase the results. No, you do that when you want to score, when you want to win. Just like the game against Panama. At a point, we have to, chase the results a little bit to try and get the win. So with that one, you can bring Brandon to give you, that threat up front in the transitions. But as the game went on, around the 80th, 85th minute, getting to the 90 pluses and all that, Ghana did not need those transitional threats anymore. No, we needed players who hold the midfield line very well for the clock to run down. And with that, don't bring on Kamaldeen. Don't bring on Brandon Thomas Asante. You only do that when you want to chase the results and win. But at that point, we did not need that. So to me, it was good that the manager did not use those weapons against England. There are still weapons in the team. We can use them in our next game.
Quite interesting. Your comments are welcome. 054-257-1061. Kelvin Owosma Science here. Michael Asari said, Kelvin, your thoughts on the game before we get into other things. Coach, do you have thoughts on some of the other games we saw yesterday?
Those ones will be for Copa Mundo.
No problem.
Sure.
Kelvin, let me take your thoughts and then we can
I
say
think
something.
Coach has gone into a lot more of the tactical, discussions, and I wouldn't want to, do any extraordinary tactics. And I'll go with, the final details that, other details that it's about games. I always said it, that we should prepare to suffer. And the coach mentioned it during his first his unveiling. Mm-hmm. He said we should prepare to suffer. Mm-hmm. And I told you, he's very pragmatic. He's stingy with possession. Oma will be to watch. He won't give you beautiful football to watch, but he will give you efficient football. And if you have players who would understand him, and what even makes his job easier for him is he's playing with footballers or players who are almost always playing in that style at club level. Always under pressure. Look at Benjamin Asari and Hatofuk. It is only this season that last season that Didi built a very solid. But look at the previous seasons that Asari and at the Olympics under pressure. Hatofuk under pressure. They will concede chances. He will save them. Even this season, for the games that he showed up. Look at our right back, Senaya.
Oxlade. Fighting off relegation.
Oxlade, Gideon Mensah, they are always in that similar style. I just did with Wolfsburg, relegation threatened. Yeah. Every single time they are under pressure. Jerome Opoku's club, yes, fine.
Yeah, they are fine.
Because this is about Oviedo, always under pressure. Thomas Partey with BRL, he's under pressure to perform because he has a Papi Gay to beat for a position.
Yeah.
On any day, Papi Gay comes no inch close to him. But because of his situation, he needs to give extra. On the right-hand side, we played Caleb Fine-Ogeland, so you could just see the end-to-end. On our extreme, Semenyo, Manchester City, even with that, at Bournemouth, he did. And it's something that I think Pep was trying to take away from his game. Being so defensive, oriented. Because if you look at, he was almost dropping deep every time. And then we had Iñaki Williams, Athletic Club this season. He's been trouble. And he plays on that. Jordan Ayew, as we know, he's best fit for these games. And at Leicester, that was so. So if they had players who understood the assignment and just were willing to deliver, and they play, just like Coach said, the psychological part of the game. Just when Jet Spence, bueno nimbono say chere no chere Thomas Partey no, or no Jet Spence unless you want your party. Hey, I was quite surprised. Hurricane and the Clarence and the lights were okay. You Jet Spence, whoa.
I didn't. It was later when somebody mentioned it that on social that he didn't shake.
Oh, it was clear. Why can't insert him?
Okay.
What Jet Spence? Exactly. It is Tuchel who wants players like you. Because on any day, if you tell me why should Jet Spence be playing at the World Cup and then
you're attacking him.
Yes, let me attack him.
I think it was his personal.
Yes, me too. This is my personal decision. This is also my personal decision too. And I'm like, yes, that was what happened. So the players were pumped up. Okay, this is what you wanted to do. Now let's do it for ourselves. Let's do it for Thomas Partey. And that was, I think, one of three elements. I mentioned it on the podcast that number one, they wanted to do it for Partey, if not for anything at all. Number two, the disrespect from all the pundits, especially that pundit who was saying they will run through like a bus. Offer bus in MFM. And then number three, like the players also telling the world that Ghanaians or the world don't have faith in the quality we possess, but they are going to prove everyone wrong. And I think I mentioned it one of our discussions about our squad, that in 2010, not many expected us to have a very good World Cup. But we used the likes of Jonathan Mensah, Andrea, used Samuel Lincoln, Ajimabedu and the likes, Rabiu and the likes to get to the World Cup. Add Kevin Prince Boateng and a number Sule Muntari and the likes on the bench, Andrea, and get a result, get to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. And you heard it from the post-match reactions from Jeremy Opoku, that yes, it is the disbelief that is actually moving them, edging them on to get that result. And I think it was good. For Thomas Tuchel, I'm sure by now he'll be thinking, if I get into games and teams are going to go mid-block and low blocks like this, how am I going to maneuver my way? It is just then he would remember that the close control guys, the technicians, Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, and the likes are going to be missed hugely. You cannot go into a tournament and you can't tell me that you won't take the close control players. You tell me how many of the England team players now can weave their way through blocks. Eze will do it, but it's not as smooth as you have Foden and then Cole Palmer do it.
Cole Palmer is his different gravy when it comes to unlocking some of these tight defenses.
And he went into the game. I was thinking, I didn't know Ghana was going to play in block. So just get Rashford, Anthony Gordon. I have said it. I said that Basafoa to Musikegu. They were laughing. They were laughing at me. It would take maybe something extraordinary from Hansi Flick, or maybe the game style.
That's a surprising thing, because I thought Marcus Rashford was kind of built.
Exactly.
And he
has skill.
His
conviction is great
down the left. So
Gordon, if anyone has watched Newcastle, if you don't play the ball behind the defense for him to run to, he's as useless.
Gordon is not a good one-on-one.
No. He won't take anybody on. And I love Sanaya for that. You won't get past him. I think that I've come to like him more because of his tenacity and aggression. Yeah. You won't get past him. Foul.
Yeah. He shut down that side.
Nothing went zero because just Spence no onyadi into your ma.
Just Spence.
Yeah, and then the Oba. So open or the Oba. Oh, be at any baby no the Oba. So I like it, and I like the game management. And you could see the Ghanaians were not willing to allow anybody bully them. I don't know. There was an instance. Was it the halftime whistle when Bellingham went to say you uttered some words to John Pencil. John Pencil was telling him, "You the small boy. When I was playing at Fulham, West Ham, where were you?"
He used the STFO.
Yes. Shut the
STFO.
You know, John Pencil told him that.
Yes.
Talk about John. This one is a side story. Have you ever listened to the Peter Crouch story on John Pencil before?
No.
So Crouch said that Crouch said when he played at Portsmouth, they went to play at Fulham. He said, I mean, look, he didn't know this guy from anywhere. All of a sudden, the game starts. John Pencil is looking for Peter Crouch. He's hacking him and he's telling him that I'll kill you. So now as Peter Crouch is asking his teammates, does anybody know this guy? Who is he? Like, have I done something what? You know, Peter Crouch recently recounts. He says, so he was asked like, have you ever had a crazy experience? He says, yeah, I played Fulham. This guy called Pencil. Why? He said, look, the guy had me scared. So yeah, John Pencil. You should find that podcast. In
so they were not willing to allow anybody.
Yeah, that was.
And they have a man, or we have a coach who will not allow anybody bully him.
Yeah.
If you saw him at the AFCON, so those are the things that gave me that sort of belief. He will go to war for you.
Carlos Queiroz.
So when they gave him the name on Sabarima, people were laughing. I'm like, you don't know this man. He will go to war for you.
Carlos Queiroz.
There's a reason why he went to war for his players and he missed the final of the AFCON. Sincerely, I tell you, if it was in the final against Senegal,
he would have won. Egypt would have won.
Come on. They would have won the game. And clearly, yesterday he showed Thomas Tuchel that yes, you may be all that,
but
I showed you a different level of defensive organization, and I'm quite surprised some of the England fans and they were angry. This is the same style, similar style Arteta and his Arsenal team, my own team, adopted to neutralize teams.
And some England fans who are Arsenal fans were happy.
Yes, Thomas Tuchel himself did that for Chelsea.
Oh yeah.
Against Man City.
Yes, and they won.
Yeah.
Won the Champions League.
For Tuchel to say that this is probably the most physical defense he's ever seen. He knows what he's talking about because he's an expert at playing some of
in that job.
Yeah.
He does it. He's one of the people who doesn't coach like a German manager. Not at all. It's the reason why Bayern just let him go. He won't coach like a German manager for you. And I just think credit should go to the team. And I always say there's always one brilliant player you need in a team to get things working. Yesterday, Thomas Partey, even his off-the-ball movement and interaction with Sebo and Caleb, you could just see he's a senior figure, understood the assignment.
Guiding them. Yeah.
And Jordan was also doing his bit up front. Yeah. That is clearly what you need. Yesterday, Semenyo and the likes, they were ready to prove a point.
Semenyo was pressing at 85 minutes.
Yes.
He was still pressing this is
a weather that even non-footballers were angry at. Thankful for the showers.
Yesterday was cool.
Yes,
I'm telling you, it was cool in Boston.
Thankfully, the showers came in, and then at least you could see the fans covering themselves and all that. But credit to the entire team for what they delivered. But Thomas Tuchel, he would have to if this is how he's going to play going forward, then he must quickly rethink, because teams will not allow England to play that way and get a result.
I think Ghana has given teams the hint.
Exactly.
What
just
you must do.
Take Harry Kane out of the game. Yeah. And then just do your blocks well.
Coach,
you are good to go.
Let me bring you in. I'll ask this as somebody who has a soft spot for England, and I'll admit it. For Tuchel, what should he learn from this game? And does he have what it takes to respond the next time a team plays like this in the World Cup?
Oh, yeah. He has it. The first thing that Tuchel must do whenever you face similar situations is the changes.
Okay.
Yes, it's the changes. I remember, was it Gary Southgate who at the World Cup or the Euros took out Harry Kane and brought on the Aston Villa guy?
Watkins, yes, it was the last Euros against Netherlands.
So Tuchel must do a similar thing. When you have Harry Kane, he will not give you that box presence, but we know his qualities already.
Yeah.
And the opponent plays with such a low and a very deep 4-5-1. It means that they've nullified Harry Kane. So if the quality of Harry Kane is not needed in that game, you must take him off.
Okay.
And at the post-match, one of the journalists asked him a similar question, and he said, wait, this is not the knockout stages.
Sporty FM.
Tuchel said, wait, this is not the knockout stage.
Okay.
So it means that he knows it. That when similar instances, happens, you must bring on, you must bring, a different gravy to your team.
I see.
Yeah, and I think that is one of the things to do. And probably the next one will be a player like Epps. Eze. Yeah. Because looking at this English team, as we said, those very technical players, tight spacing, they will give you. They are not packed. But looking at the team now, probably Eze has that, although not up to that level, but with the squad he has that. So in such games, you need.
So for example, assuming he has to construct, let's assume that his next game, right, or maybe in the knockout stage, a team plays like this. So he should start Eze ahead of which player?
Probably Bellingham.
So Eze ahead of Bellingham.
And start Nico O'Reilly.
So Nico O'Reilly at left back.
To give you the,
to crash the box. Eze as the 10. You still start Kane as the 9.
Yeah, definitely.
And keep the rest of the team as it is.
Because you see, when O'Reilly came on the field, at least Harry Kane had an opening.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Yeah. Because it means that O'Reilly will give you that box presence. So for the second ball will fall onto Harry Kane. And to me, O'Reilly will attack the first ball. Harry Kane can attack the second ball.
So I think that what if I was Tuchel, between one of Elliott and Declan Rice. Now Rice is battling with a calf strain.
Yeah.
So maybe you sit him to relax him because
against
obviously
Panama.
Yes. Against Panama, sit him to relax him. Play Elliott Anderson, or even drop the two. Play Jordan Henderson, put Eze and then Morgan Rogers, and bench Anthony Gordon. Play Oli Watkins. Play Harry Kane. Let Watkins come off the wide areas. Bukayo Saka is still battling with an injury. You need to keep him for the knockout stages. Yeah. Then maybe you still maintain Madueke, or they have Kobe Mainoo is still around. Yeah. He's also one player who can give you a different dimension. So you can play Epps off the left, play Watkins, drop Harry Kane, and play Kobe Mainoo in that midfield
alone or with somebody. With Henderson.
Henderson stays in there. Then you play Morgan Rogers with Kobe Mainoo. Morgan will crash the balls for you, and he's one of the players who runs through blocks. So yesterday I was thinking, if you want someone to bully players and run through blocks, and Bellingham is struggling, put Morgan Rogers in the game. He'll crash the boxes for you. We've seen him do it countless times in the Premier League.
Yeah,
and is the reason why Arteta and then Beta want to get him. Because when it gets difficult for you, he comes direct.
He'll do it.
He will try break the blocks and get direct for you. So I was quite surprised, but just like you are saying, hands-side coaching, there are times when you are on the bench, the pressure of you can't even think properly. Exactly. But I think that the classical Tuchel was just happy with it because he didn't want to give much. Just when he wanted to make his subs. Ghana also altered the game to suit us. And we had openings where Edu Kwabena could have scored.
Yeah.
We had
a more composed, a more experienced.
And Ghana brought on Ishahaku and the like. So if you exposed that midfield and back line, it would only take one pass from Partey or Caleb Rinchi, and that would have been it for you. So I also understood him. If I'm not winning, I'm not losing the game.
Well, England get 4 points, they stay top. Ghana 4 points, they stay second. Croatia got themselves a win. Ante Budimir scored in the 54th minute to give Croatia
Timo Masapeni. Hey,
you watched them.
I did the commentary.
Yeah, you did the commentary.
Come on, they're terrible on the eye.
Wow.
Is that bad?
They've retrogressed.
Yeah, it's that bad. Fine, Panama played well, all right. But the Croatia team we've seen in the last couple of tournaments. Charlie.
Calvin, what was the problem with Croatia?
I think they are still heavily dependent on Luka Modric
at 41 or something.
And Kovacic creating for them. They should move on away. How is Perisic your left winger in this modern football? Put him at left back.
You play him at left back.
Yes. Okay. Yesterday when he brought him at left back and he brought on Budimir and Kramaric, the game virtually just opened up for them. So why do you stick with it? And he was playing Musa and the likes. I'm like, come on. I don't know whether they are struggling with. Pasalic and the likes were on the bench. Meanwhile, they gave you a good game against England. Just that England got, their moments. Harry Kane, because if you look at the goals that England scored, the penalty, the crash goal from Harry Kane, the header.
Yeah.
These are not goals you blame.
Yeah.
Your team.
The Bellingham goal, you can't really,
exactly individual brilliance.
And the Rashford goal at the point now, Croatia were overcommitting.
Yes,
England will pick.
So you can understand, and it will only take a player like Bukayo Saka to make that pass to find Rashford, and Rashford with his finishing element. So I think he just doesn't have to alter his team too much. Just when he resorted or reverted to, most of the players he used in the opening game, the team started, flowing. They started playing well, and I think Modric needs a lot of cover. He's not the same Modric again. You can see him. You can't say
the intelligence is there.
Yes, he wants to
the physical part there,
and he doesn't have an intelligent player like Rakitic
around him.
Yeah. And that is also a very big problem for him. And there was this other guy who played in that midfield. Croatia 2018-2022 had this player. I'm trying to get it. Maybe which team beat Croatia in the semis?
In the semis.
2018
it was Argentina, right?
2022 was because in 2018 they knocked out England at the semis.
They beat England at the semis.
Yes. So I'm just looking for that Croatia team, and then I'll get to know which players. So it's clearly a number of players. Yes, Marcelo Brozovic. So an engine in Brozovic, Rakitic will add up, and Modric can stay upfield.
Yes.
Now they want to play Modric deep in that midfield with Kovacic.
And Kovacic.
It doesn't work. We all know Kovacic.
Yeah.
He will give you lots of problems to think about.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he's going to shape up his team. I don't know which other options he has.
For Kovacic, we know that Kovacic's greatest strength is carrying the ball.
Exactly.
Right? So he always wants to move up the pitch. So that means that Modric is going to be left alone.
So yesterday was a field day for Harvey and Macenas, the captain, captain for Panama.
Yeah.
And he gave Murillo and then Martinez lots of, grace on the left-hand side of the Croatia defense. Was the reason why when they brought on Perisic, he seized. Because he's a very good defender. He won't let you get past him. Upfield, he was just virtually useless because he doesn't have the pace and energy to be going
the
up
quality
and down.
to give the cross is still there.
Exactly.
What I think is Zlatko Dalic is caught between loyalty for the players who have served him for this consistent period, and mostly something that affects coaches. Most coaches come to trust players. They trust them because the players understand their methods. They know, and so coaches relate with them easily, especially when it's at the national team level where you don't consistently engage with new players like it is at the club level. So he's stuck with them, and he doesn't know how to move on from them to the next generation. Trust me, Croatia do have exactly the profiles that Kelvin has highlighted. I think Susic of Inter Milan, he can easily play the Rakitic role. But he won't start because there is a certain Kovacic, there is Luka Modric. So he will not be given priority to start. But I think that Zlatko Dalic needs to get to that stage where he understands that he can't get from Modric exactly what he used to produce some 8 years ago. And against Panama, you should be confident enough to start such players.
Susic and Co. They will deliver. You have to trust that.
Panama. No disrespect to Panama, but if you have such players in your team and you don't trust them, then why take them to the competition? I think that is where Croatia are stuck. Moving on from the next generation. Exactly. And I think that is the main issue for them, because if you look through their squad, it looks like they have quite a number of overaged players. Not overaged, they don't qualify, but players over the 30 years
That's
barrier.
True.
And
that is very true.
And it's affecting them. You can see that they don't have a lot of energy. They don't have a lot of recovery pace when they lose the ball. I think it's something that coach has even highlighted here. And they don't have a lot in their tank to go physical with the opponent. And I think that is something that needs to be worked on.
I'm looking, you mentioned the age, sorry to cut you. I'm just looking at, for example, Croatia's team, right? Now, starting goalkeeper Livakovic is 31. Goalkeeper age 31. He's still young. Now, moving on to the midfield, and this is where I think Croatia's problems are. Think about it. Kovacic is 32. Modric is 40.
And these are the two starting midfielders.
Mario Pasalic is 31.
So Perisic is 37.
Perisic is 37.
Yeah.
Right? Ante Budimir is 34. Andrej Kramaric is 35.
Yeah.
Now the players Zlatko Dalic doesn't trust, and he won't give them game time. Fruk Tony, 25. Jakic Christian, 29. Moro Nicola, 28. Susic Luka, 23.
Yeah.
Susic Petar, 22.
Yeah.
And Nikola Vlasic, 28. These aren't guys who are getting minutes. Fruk has not played. Jakic Christian hasn't played. Moro Nicola hasn't played. Susic has played 18 minutes.
He came off the bench
in two games. Petar Susic is the only player who's had minutes. He's played 108. So that means that about 54, let's say, each game. So even that is still not enough for a 22-year-old.
So if your starting midfield has a 37-year-old and then, Kovacic is 32. And then a 40-year-old and a 37-year-old. Because they play three at the back. Yeah. So it means in their middle, they would definitely have wing backs. Perisic is 37. Modric is 40. Kovacic is 32. And that is where the issue. So yes, they are technical. They are players who can move the ball, have an excellent skill set. But their physical aspect will always be lacking. And I think it's something that has not really worked well for them. And it happens to teams moving on from one cycle to the other cycle. So the beginning of this cycle, I don't think they can actually have a dominant tournament like we've known from them. No. 2018, that was where their squad had really
2018
matured.
was a very good.
Exactly.
Croatia had a very good team.
2022, they were losing steam. Players had left. They had refreshed the pack. And Modric, let's say, was still okay.
Yeah.
But 2026, 4 years is enough a time to expose a lot of things that are not so right with the age balance in this team. And I think it's what's affecting them. So I don't think they would have any serious impact positively in this competition.
Okay.
I don't think so. Well, I even fear that they might fail to get a result against Ghana and it might kick them out of the tournament. Maybe they'll make it as one of the best third place teams.
Maybe.
If they draw, good for them.
Yeah.
If Ghana beats them, it puts them in a very tricky situation.
It does. And we'll see what happens to Zlatko Dalic and his future. I don't know whether this is his final run with the team. It's difficult to say. 926, you can still send in your comment, 054-257-1061. Guys, let's talk about the other game from yesterday. Portugal 5, Uzbekistan 0. And our uncle Cristiano Ronaldo finally got his first 2 goals of the World Cup. Lots of things had been said, but Ronaldo responded. First goal, a sweeping volley. The second goal was my favorite goal. I thought it was a brilliant pass from Bruno to find him, and then the one-touch finish. Michael, no surprises, I'm assuming. We all knew Portugal would win.
Yeah,
and they beat Uzbekistan. But there was something I noticed about the Uzbekistanis. They have this habit of wanting to fire the ball from distance.
Yeah.
I don't know where they learned that one too.
No, I think they just thought that their best chance was aiming shots from various angles, and to some extent, we do not see them produce that quality in terms of the shots they took. But then again, it's about the opponent. They can't definitely stand a chance against Portugal. So how about we try our luck and see what becomes of it? But I think we knew Portugal would win. That is true. But I was expecting to see certain relationships and developments on the field of play. And I think that came to bear. In their first game, maybe they played in a tensed manner. I don't know. Everything that happened in the first game clearly did not spell out how we've described this Portugal team prior to the start of a competition. There have been discussions we've had on the Copa Mundo, and I keep saying this. On paper, Portugal has the best midfield.
Wow, yeah.
In terms of pedigree profile, yes, Spain has it. But currently, in terms of current form, consistency, whatever, I think
Neves,
Portugal
Vitinha,
has the best midfield. João Neves, Vitinha, already they understand themselves. There is that relationship. Then Bruno Fernandes had one of the best career individual spells last season. Then he was crowned the Premier League Player of the Season, broke the Premier League record for most assists. So it tells you that he's the chief creator. If you slot these players into the middle on paper, it should be perfect. But in the first game, that did not really manifest. And it looked like there was a clash of roles, what players should do. At a point in time, Bruno looked to be at the end of most of the finishes. But yesterday, if you watched the game, he was actually the one at the heart of most of the creativity from set plays, from open play. So he was allowed to do what he knows to do best. João Neves, do what you can do. Then Vitinha, control
the game for us.
Exactly. So I think maybe I don't know whatever meetings they had privately to discuss some of the issues in their team, but definitely I want to move towards that angle that I think there was a mini arrangement where players sat down, poured their hearts out, everyone shared their sentiments one way or the other, and they resolved issues in the playing body. And you could actually tell they wanted to play, they wanted to prove a point that yes, they are good. Maybe they did not have a very good game in the first, but they were in to prove a point. And that is what I saw. And again, Ronaldo scored 2 goals. It was only rewarding that he needed to prove something. You see, yes, I understand the Messi-Ronaldo rivalry. Definitely there will be trolls out there. The moment Messi scores, the trolls will move on to the social media street and make their own case. But I think that in discourses like this, we also need to highlight certain aspects of this whole conversation. Ronaldo is how many years old again? 41.
41, yeah.
For him to be at this stage, to fight for the top prizes and everything, I think we have not really understood that contest and appreciated it from that angle. I think the rivalry has maybe blinded us to understand and appreciate some of these things. Nobody has a goal to that level. Not Pelé, not Maradona. But it's Cristiano Ronaldo and he's still pushing. And I like it when he's able to prove that he's still not done yet. So you have to give him the credit.
Of course.
What do we know Ronaldo for? Is to score.
Yeah.
Provide the opportunities, definitely he will convert some of the chances that will be given him. And that is what he did yesterday. It was only rewarding that he did that. It was a good opponent for Portugal to try out.
Of course.
They got a good result. And I think it will restore their confidence in the subsequent matches that they play. Against Colombia, it will be tricky. Colombia is a very difficult opponent to play against. It will be tricky. It will be similar to the DR Congolese game. But I think that if Portugal trust themselves and then they work with each other very well, they should be able to navigate passage to the next stage of the I think by now they've even qualified per the mathematics. They've qualified. Exactly. If they will be fighting for is top position in their group. I think if they beat Portugal, it puts them top. If they draw, Portugal will still remain top of that group. And I don't think they want to put themselves in such a situation. So I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And make you with Portugal. If they top their group and then Ghana places second, it's 47% chance of Ghana playing against Portugal.
Because if you look at the path, the third place in groups D, E, I, J, and L, and Group L is where Ghana is. The third place teams in Group D, E, I, J, and L will face the top team in Group K.
Okay.
So they'll work out and we'll figure out which third place team will take on the winner of Group K. That game will be played in Kansas City. Kansas City, and it's strangely enough, it is a 1:30 a.m. kickoff. So let us pray that Ghana will not be there. That 1:30 a.m.
we would have to be on our feet.
No. So let's just hope
I'm
that.
happy for Ronaldo.
And in terms of Ghana's passage,
and is Portugal's all-time top scorer at the World Cup? I forgot to mention.
How many?
He's Eusebio. Eusebio had 9.
So he has
Ronaldo
10
has 10 now.
Yes. Eusebio had 9. 9 scored 66 and 70, I think. I think he played in 2. Ghana's other potential path, if Ghana finish second in Group L, they'll take on the second in Group K. Right? But the problem with that game is that it's in Canada. That is the problem.
If Ghana finishes
second in Group L, right? Ghana will take on the second place team in Group K.
And that could be Portugal.
And I'm not even concerned by that. I'm concerned by the fact that if Ghana finishes second and that game is in Canada, party is not going. For me, that is my concern. So for those who are interested, if you go to FIFA's website and you get to the tournament, the path is all laid out there. Who's playing where? teams that have already booked their tickets to the next stage, let me give you that. Mexico are there. They are playing at home, right? In the round of 32, they are playing at home. Mexico City Stadium, aka the Azteca. Who are they playing? They are playing the third place team in either Group C, Group E, Group F, Group H, and Group I. So the third place team in Group C, E, F, H, and I, one of them will take on Mexico. I'd love to see the criteria that determines which one it is. I don't know if the FIFA people can explain to us. USA, they've also made it. They will take on the third place team in either Group B, Group E, Group F, Group I, or Group J. Right? Groups B, E, F, I, and J. The USA will take on the third place team from that group. Now, Argentina, as things stand, they have also booked a place in the round of 32. Who are they facing? They are facing the second place team in Group H. Now, which team is in Group H? Let me check.
Interesting.
Let me check the standings to see the second place team in Group H. Do you know the people in Group H?
No.
Spain, Uruguay, Cape Verde, and Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
So the team that finishes second in that group will face Argentina.
No, but I think it's cool. Definitely Spain will top that group.
Spain have to play Uruguay next, Michael. They have to play Uruguay next.
And they have 4 points.
They have 4 points.
Uruguay has 2.
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay. And then, yeah, so those are the teams that have booked their place in the round of 32. Let me check. Yeah, so far. Germany, good. Germany have also booked their place.
Yeah.
Who are they playing? They are going to play against the third place team in either Group A, B, C, D, or F. Right? A, B, C, D, or F. So those are matches that, are set already for the round of 32. All right, let me...
Something small about the top scorers. I think that it's a race that at this World Cup will be very interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Because now we have Messi with 5 goals, Erling Haaland with 4 goals, Mbappe with 4 goals. And then the senior man said he's back with 2 goals. So looking at the top scorers chart, you see the World Cup is the stage for the big boys. And I think that this World Cup, the biggest, of them all, they have really shown up at this World Cup. If there's one player that have been impressed with the games that he's played, it's Erling Haaland. For most of these guys, they've played at the World Cup. They have the experience. Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, they have it. But for Erling Haaland, this is the first time playing at the World Cup. For Erling Haaland, this is the first time in a long while that even his country, Norway, has been able to qualify for a major tournament.
The last time Norway were at the World Cup was in 1998.
And Haaland is playing as if he's playing in the Premier League.
Yeah. He looks very comfortable.
Very comfortable, scoring goals left, right, center. And I think that for Erling Haaland, his goal scoring ability, you see, for his national team, his records and all that, if Haaland really play, if he has played about like 3 or even 4 World Cups with this rate, probably will be competing for Messi as the top goal scorer at the World Cup, because the rate at which he scores is,
Erling Haaland, look, he's a deadly finisher.
And coach, let me ask you this. I think the last time we had double figures in terms of goals for the top scorer was 70, Gerd Müller with 10.
Yeah, Gerd Müller.
And I think the highest has been Jules Fontaine.
Jules Fontaine, 13 in 58 in Sweden. Yeah.
Yep. And then Kosseis with 11 in 54. Do you think we will have double figures?
Definitely.
Because Messi has 5. He next plays against Jordan.
Yeah. You see,
probably scores 2 or 3. That makes it 8.
And you see, Nathan, with this World Cup, the increase in teams means that the number of games also will increase. Yeah.
Now you play 8 games to win the World Cup.
And again, the increase in the teams means that the quality of teams qualifying also in certain stage, will reduce. Because ordinarily, probably Jordan wouldn't qualify.
Yeah.
Probably Uzbekistan wouldn't qualify. True. But now, because it has been increased from 32 to 48, they will come. So you can use Curacao and this Haiti to get a lot of goals so that you can add up. So yes, I think that this World Cup is likely that we get a top scorer, hitting the double goal mark.
Okay, let me go through some of the messages. This one says, if we can keep our defense tight and resolute, we'll secure a semi-final spot. If we don't meet the likes of France, Portugal, and Argentina, well, we'll have to wait and see about that. This one says, let's all remind Ghanaians that football is not all about goals and assists. Charlie, why? Collins from Kaswa says, there's a line in our anthem that says, bold to defend forever. It says, England will now understand why that phrase is there. I was surprised Declan Rice was complaining about how Ghana defended, but he doesn't complain the way Arsenal defended against PSG. I mean, anyway. Let me go through messages. This one says, Nathan, how is this not a red card? Because Jude is clearly covering his mouth and talking to Jordan. Where is the consistency in the game? But guys, I think, is that not a caveat?
So when it's in a confrontation,
yes.
like the two teams are battling it out,
so this one is not a confrontation.
But the penalty they should have been given.
The penalty should have been given. Nilomo from Apam says, Senaya is a typical old school Accra Hearts of Oak defender. Very aggressive and uncompromising, says Kankpe. Regarding Benjamin Asai, did you notice he was trying to show fair play to an English player, even though the referee had not stopped play? This is exactly what some of us have been saying about exposure and experience at the highest level. His defenders were visibly frustrated by that decision. Okay.
With that decision, the only error that I think he made was where he decided to throw the ball to. You see, once it's a fair play decision, even if you throw it at the near post or anywhere, they will give the ball back to you. But he decided to throw it very far, and that ended up in the hands of the English players.
I think you should have just kicked it far off into the stands.
Yes.
You get it?
Yes.
But he just threw it back into play, and it was still in play.
Yeah.
When you do that, opponents can decide to give it or not give it back to you.
They are not compelled to pass the ball.
Exactly.
Let me, that boy Koba from Eden Heights says, Marvin Senaya, a Togolese who believed in Ghana, he was given the opportunity to prove beyond doubt yesterday he was our best player with perfect tackle, stamina, and distribution. I believe Ghana will reach the semi-finals. We just have to learn how to take penalties, Charlie. Let's take it easy, small. Right. This semi-final dream there.
Not all Togo goals are bad.
Let me go through more of the messages. Stephen Adani Dankwa, inside Tema Community 3, says, I've always said Ghana has quality to do well. It was the coaching that let them down. The new coach has done well, especially against an English team at its peak. Okay. All right, let's... this one says, we should have won the game from the 80th minute. It was nice seeing Asari Bodu yesterday at the McDan Park. Villa from Usu. Michael, how was it like?
It was massive energy. Oh, true, Charlie. I love Ga people. I love you.
Wonderful.
I would have to adopt a Ga name. Yeah. Koku Ashale.
This one is from Papistic Bad from Amrahia. Says, Otto Aldo was killing us. Now we have confidence in the team. I think Coach Danso should be added to my team, Asante Kotoko, so the rebuilding can work perfectly. Coach, people are already signing you to various clubs in Ghana, so let us know. Okay, all right. A message, we got a message. This one, Fly, you sent me a message. There, this one, or on A. What is going on here? I should tell to stay in Accra. Okay, Michael, the word is that stay in Accra. Oh. And we'll integrate you properly.
Oh, the baby girls won't be happy.
This one says, for the first time, the Black Stars did what mattered in a tournament, very disciplined and stacked up on a structure that yielded the needed result. It was a strategy well executed. We failed to do this at the last World Cup when we needed only a draw against Uruguay to progress, but we decided under our coach to play based on revenge. I enjoyed this game because you could see a plan that was working. Kofi Nathan send that message from Tema. Okay. This one says I doff my hat to Coach Dan. So perfect analysis yesterday with the midfield combination. Why didn't the Ghanaian players protest the penalty? That's why the referee didn't call on VAR. I see. Man like Winter from Taco. As for the VAR, it's not your protest
No.
that will get the VAR. They are also looking at it. Yeah. So when they see anything, they'll draw the referee's attention. So that's that. This one, Kobe Baden, listening to us from Dansoman, says David Austin posted that Ghana was disappointing to the whole Africa. My question is, was he expecting Ghana to go toe-to-toe with the English?
A little clarity.
Yeah.
That is not his official account. Someone has created it.
Because I know Austin, you will not get Austin tweeting match opinions.
Exactly. That is not his account.
And his account, that account even has a small O. That is not David's account. Please. If you go to his account, he's thinking about transfers. 12 hours ago or no, he's writing about his transfer stories.
So please,
he just doesn't care about you.
So Kobe Baden, please don't fall for fake news. David Austin, look, I know David Austin's work. Austin never tweets about matches
or opinions
on
teams.
Yes, he doesn't. He only tweets transfer news.
Facts. And he's Ornstein.
Yes, David Ornstein.
That's his name.
Austin.
Yes.
Ornstein.
Yes, David Ornstein.
So not Austin. Maybe I will Joel Austin or David Nash.
They are so fun or Campbell. Anyway, this one, Nathan from Castle says, so ask Ketokwe who sat there watching the game, what exactly was running through his mind? Maybe it's about time he and his people apologize to Ghanaians that indeed they were wrong by keeping Otto for too long.
I agree.
Oh, he qualified as well, Charlie.
You could clearly see the players stuck to the instructions from the first minute to last. Even Sibo, who I tipped to get a card, was disciplined throughout. This is what you get when you have a top-notch coach on the sideline. Which level does Jed Spence think he's played his football to that the likes of Kane, Rice and Bellingham shook parties and he decided not to? It's only a coach like Tuchel who will select him ahead of Trent Alexander-Arnold. So after the game, the highlight that had Asari's saves as the player of the match, was it the opinion of the commentators? I don't get.
No, they were highlighting some of the top performers in the Ghana team.
Yeah.
And then they referenced that Asari saved from Bukayo Saka. So, and they were saying he was one of Ghana's top performers. In fact, he had 100% save.
And he did well. You see, the final minute, we've always been, crying about corner kick, set pieces, deliveries. See the way he came out to punch that ball away. And I was like, come on.
That one was a confidence booster.
And every single time he upgrades. I don't know if anyone has seen. Every single time he upgrades.
And it's a competition. Yeah. But there's one thing you guys did not focus on. His long kicks yesterday.
Brilliant.
They were better than usual.
Yes. So every single time
they were better.
He's improving.
He covered more range.
With the reason why he has Politan Kenrezo now. Brandon Mazada.
Sure. All right. This one says there was a mouth covering incident involving Jude Bellingham talking to Jordan. This was not flag. We've explained to you the rules. The rules are that if in a confrontation, so it's not that I'm chatting with Jordan and I cover. No, if in a confrontation you do that, then you are getting sent off. This one says, also Asari's parry of Saka's shot was good. As the ball moved above Kane, who was ready to pounce had the ball moved on the turf. Most goalkeepers parry it to the ground, inviting a tap-in from the on-rushing striker. Kwabna Edu's back-to-goal play, running between defensive lines, I think, probably made Carlos Queiroz introduce him. Okay, all right, that's somebody also sharing some thoughts there. Time check is 9:48. We'll go through a couple more comments. But before that, another quick announcement that all the things we are doing on Sporty TV and Sporty FM in terms of the World Cup, the commentary, the watch parties, all of them are happening because we have great sponsors. Let me tell you about some of those sponsors. Pepsodent is saying that in football, you don't reach the World Cup without discipline. You don't get points off England without discipline. And when it comes to your oral health, it has to be the same thing. When it comes to your smile, the rules are the same. Be disciplined. Brush your teeth morning and at night, because every meal is a snack attack. You'll be watching Argentina at 1 a.m. Messi is doing his magic and you want to eat fried rice, fried yam, pork, all those things. When you finish, go and brush your teeth. You don't want the germs to score. That's why Pepsodent has introduced the limited edition World Cup toothpaste. It comes in 3 variants: fresh breath for all-day confidence, antibacterial to fight germs, plaque remover for a cleaner, stronger smile. Get the Pepsodent World Cup limited edition today, available at supermarkets and shops nationwide. This World Cup season, Pepsodent says Pepsodent says when it comes to oral health, fan World Cup, it's important. Now, if you want a place to go and enjoy the World Cup games every day, go to the Coca-Cola Football Village at Good Park, Accra Mall. The vibe is good, drinks are flowing, the atmosphere is wonderful, there's a lot to eat and drink. Watch all your favorite matches, enjoy high energy vibes, music and entertainment. Dive into interactive fan zones, fun experiences, plus a chance to win amazing prizes and giveaways. So bring your crew, bring the energy, pull up to the Coca-Cola Fan Park, because this World Cup, you just don't watch it, you feel it all. Now, even though the final is on July 19, we are giving you an invitation ahead of time. Join us at the Aviation Social Center to watch that game. Whoever will play in that final will be there to watch. Be part of thousands of passionate fans who will come together to watch that game. And we are doing that on the thanks to our sponsors, Coca-Cola, or our valued partners. Coca-Cola, feel it all. Pepsodent, do the 2 brush day and night. Club your cheers to our Charlie, and the European Union supporting community engagement through youth participation. Supporting community engagement and youth participation through sports. Now you enjoy live screening of the final on giant screens, pre-match music and entertainment, interactive games and exciting giveaways. 19th July, gates open at 1 p.m. If you're an interested vendor and partner and you want to join us, call 055-391-9705, 055-391-9705, or 0244-220-245 to register. Keep listening to Sporty FM and follow all our socials for event updates, promos, and exciting opportunities to win. Sporty FM, we are the voice of sport. Sinclair Tech is saying that if you want to get great gadgets, you want a new PlayStation. My class, everybody said he wants a new PlayStation, so he will get one at Sinclair Tech. What's that?
I'll check it out.
You better check them out.
They are fantastic.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll even need to upgrade my iPhone.
They have all the upgrades you want.
I'll go there. Sinclair Tech. Fantastic.
You can find them at a Shalibotre close to School Junction. They have World Cup discount sales. So if you want to upgrade your iPhone, your Android, want to get a new PC, a new PlayStation, all of that, get in touch with them. 0549-462-550. Follow them on social at Sinclair Tech _ Sinclair Tech, your trusted destination for technology and electronics. Sinclair Tech, elevate your life. All right, let's go through some more messages that have come through on 0549-986-996. You can equally get to us with your thoughts. Before we leave, I'll tell you the matches that will be played today. There are some matches that will be played today. Today is the 24th of June. Some very interesting matches will be played as well. This one, Prince from our 7 says, Prince Edu didn't try cry. After the tackle, should have stayed down and rolled on the turf a little bit. That would have initiated a match.
Charlie, there is, if they won't give it, forget. They won't give it. I think at this World Cup, and it got to a point, there was one of the games, I think, one of the incidents, and I saw, the players complaining, some fans were complaining that the referee should whistle for a foul. I'm like, this World Cup is very physical. If you don't get into the mentality that you are playing Serie A, you won't be able to last.
You have to.
This is not the Premier League. This is not the La Liga. This is not the Bundesliga.
I think they've raised the threshold for physical challenges.
Exactly.
So they've allowed a lot to go.
Anyway. So it's the reason why some of the decisions, the referees are getting it wrong. But I think the VAR needs to correct, especially the penalty, situation and incidents. They need to correct. But DR Congo yesterday disappointed.
Shock for them. Stanley in Achimota says, had we played and set up exactly like Cape Verde against Spain, could we have beaten England? But how did Cape Verde coach? How did,
it was the same setup.
It was the same setup, similar setup, and we got ourselves a point.
Carlos Queiroz says what? Entertainment.
How many shots did Spain have against Cabo Verde?
Many.
I think
Spain, but Spain have 22. Yeah, 22. Yeah,
England had 19. Only 3 was on target.
Yeah.
So we protected our
area
better very well.
This one says, I hope the GFA keeps Carlos Queiroz because I think he could be the good coach we've needed for a long time, especially when Kudus, Salisu, and Jiku joined the team. We could become a very strong national team. All right.
I like what is happening now. After this, getting into the AFCON qualifiers, someone like Salisu, Jiku, they would have to fight their way back into the team.
No more,
and it gives me joy. You know, my only problem is that the midfield we are still lacking. Hopefully, Kudus gets fit, and at least you know that you can trust having someone who can carry the ball with Caleb, and then because I don't know how far Thomas can go. Up till the next year, maybe he can play the AFCON.
Maybe the next AFCON,
and that may probably be his last. So we need to look at that area.
All right, let's go through some more messages. 0542571061. Jude from Insawam says, I was so impressed with the Black Stars yesterday. Our coach masterminded, or he created a well-drilled side to face England. It was successful. It was funny when I heard some English reporters analyzing Ghana's tactics. Who told them we played with tactics? It was a combo of street football plus haram soccer. Hey, babe.
There was this video where I think they had a tactical table and they said Ghana was so open that you could drive a bus.
Yeah.
What happened to the bus?
The bus didn't work again. It broke down on the way.
It broke down.
And even that assessment was false. Even in the first game, we were not
open.
That assessment was false.
This one says, Coach Danso is spot on. Playing a back five doesn't always guarantee safety and protection.
Yeah.
Uzbekistan's back five conceded 5 goals. Did you see Man City's Kuzanov in tears after that?
Yeah. How do you play? At this stage, the 5 back, what it does is your 3 back. That means you have 2 laterals. Yeah. If you have an opponent who has quick, smart wingers and intelligent passes, they will always play behind the lines.
Behind the line,
and
it
will be picked up, and then you are going to
back five.
Concede. So I think you just need to quickly review that sort of it. And Cannavaro knows this. For an Italian defender, Charlie, 4 back, show up your midfield, and then leave your attackers to work their magic. Or he's forgotten how they beat France or got the game to penalties in the 2006 final.
Forgot. This one says Prince Kwabnedu needs a pep talk with Baby Jets. First against Germany, now England. He needs to be clinical. Yeah. Brandon Thomas Asante would have done better in his position yesterday. Well, let's say hindsight is always 2020.
Ghana 4.
Saul in Kofredia says Ghanaian sports journalists criticized Arteta, but they are praising Queiroz.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, give the flowers.
This one says one issue we need to discuss is the continued reliance on Iñaki Williams. After 30 appearances and only 4 goals, we have to ask what exactly we are expecting from him. Yesterday, operating mainly from the right wing, he struggled to make an impact. Yet Fatai Sahaku, arguably a more dangerous option on that flank, remained on the bench. But Fatai came on, right?
So you see, there's one problem with. If you start Fatau, he doesn't give you what you want. Mm-hmm. He comes off the bench, he reads the game better. Yeah, he comes with energy and intensity, and he disturbs defenders.
Mm-hmm. And there's one thing that I've liked about Fatau at this World Cup is his passes and the quality of the passes.
Yeah.
In the first game against Panama, that Brandon Thomas Asante ball where he played for Jordan, it was Fatau who gave him that pass.
Exactly.
And yesterday, the same Fatau gave Edu Kabuna a similar one. And I'm thinking that, yes, his attacking attributes are there, but with the quality of the passes that he's given us in the last 2 games at the World Cup, to me, thumbs up, Isaku.
Anyway, let's go to the line. Let me go to the line and catch up with one of our team members, my regular wingman, the spiritual guru, aka one man, Raymond Yamado. Ray, how are you doing?
Good morning, Nathan. Good morning to Coach. Good morning, the studio, and good morning to the entire production team.
Wonderful.
I'm good. I'm tired. It was a long evening. I mean, It was just one of those days yesterday.
Okay.
But how are you doing, Nathan?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I mean, it's been a tough time. You know, we all didn't sleep early. We're on Ghana duty and all. You were there. How was it like? How was it like at the ground? How was it like in Boston, seeing the Black Stars, enjoying the World Cup atmosphere? Your thoughts on the game and just generally how it was like for you?
Okay, well, let me start from the beginning. You know, it was one of those days where a lot of Ghanaians, interestingly, just had so much confidence that the Stars could do something, could get something out of the game. Interestingly, now getting to the stadium was quite chaotic because there was a lot of traffic. As far as 30 minutes before you even get to the stadium, later, there were roadblocks, high security. And when I say high security, very high security. You know, there were roadblocks. So you would have to park your car far away to get to the stadium. Now, interestingly, people were ready to give up portions of the space on their compounds for as much as $60, $80, just for you to park your car for the entire duration of the game later. And it was crazy yesterday.
Wow.
It was almost like a place just to park your car. So once you park your car, you would possibly have to walk another 30 minutes to the stadium. So that was just the start. Now, when you get to the stadium, the level of organization there was top notch. Right from when you get close, there are stewards all over the place in different clothes, different colored clothes, with different roles to play, with walkie-talkies. If you need to find your gates, they'll show you exactly where to go. You know, if they're not sure, they'll make a phone call, they'll try to get you around. It was very, very well organized. So in terms of having a challenge, trying to find where to go at that stadium, at the Boston Stadium, it was so easy. Now to the game itself, now to the fans. You would see a lot of Ghanaians trooping in their yellow, black and gold, in their white jerseys, lots of Ghanaians. And you'll be amazed, lots of Ghanaians in the diaspora, Ghanaians also who flew into town to watch the game. You'd see politicians, you'd see, you know, CEOs, you'd see former ministers of state, former CEOs and all. Almost everybody, you know, who matters in Ghana found his way or her way into the stadium yesterday. Now, of course, the English were going to be there in their numbers. And if you watch the pictures on the screens, almost every part of that stand, almost every part of the stands you'd find there were filled by English fans. They were there in their numbers. And, you know, they especially needed to be controlled by the police because they had to manage the English fans. They were quite difficult to manage, and so they had to find a way to make sure, you know, they were ushered into the stadium very, very, very well with very, very high security. So, you know, that was how the start happened. But in terms of even trying to find your seat with your tickets, it was perfect. Once you get into the right zone, you'll be able to figure yourself out and all, and then you would find your seat easily. But there was a lot of rain yesterday too, and I told you in the morning that there was so much rain yesterday. I think it's looking sunny this morning, but there was so much rain yesterday that even, you know, for those of us in the stands, it was we were getting drenched in the rain.
Wow.
But yeah, we're getting drenched in the rain, but we couldn't be bothered. We wanted to watch a game, and so nobody moved out of his or her seat. Everybody was there, making noise, supporting, cheering from start to finish. Now, you know, it was time for the warm-up. The players came in, you know, lots of noise in the stadium, lots of excitement. I mean, Nathan, this is Hurricane in your shot. You know, everybody's excited to see Hurricane. This is our own Semenyo. You know, it was, you know, the fun was there. And then there was this interesting part where on the screens we had to watch, you know, the best players of both teams. Mm-hmm. And interestingly, Caleb Yuenchi who popped up for Ghana versus Hurricane. Just imagine. So, you know, it was one of those things. Now to the game itself. When the lineup came, when we all saw the lineup, look, once you saw that Black Stars lineup, you needed a magician to tell you what Carlos Queiroz wanted to do on match day. It was quite clear that he wanted to pack that midfield. He wanted to make sure that defense was resolute. And, of course, Benjamin Asare didn't shock anybody because yesterday, you know, even before the game, there were reports that Atizigi was not 100%, and of course, Carlos Queiroz, with all his years of coaching, would not risk it. So even the lineup gave a lot of Ghanaians confidence because there was Inaki Williams in the lineup. Jordan Ayew divided opinion a bit. People were asking why Jordan started, but of course, Carlos Queiroz knows best. He won't go to war without his general, without his captain, and so, of course. And then the game started. Nathan, first 10 minutes of the game, everybody knew what we were in for. It was going to be a long minutes. And, but the fans kept believing. The fans kept saying, oh, yeah, this is the game. We are going to win. England cannot beat us. So now, the people I was sitting around, they were managing the game every 10 minutes. So after the first 10 minutes, they'll say, we've seen out the first 10. Let's go another 10. So they were managing it in blocks. I said, okay. But, Nathan, the fans were excited. And Ghanaians suddenly just started believing. Once they kept frustrating the English. Once the English failed to find any penetrative pass, once they failed to, create an exit that was going to trouble Ghanaians, once Aside even make a save in the first half, now the second half, everybody believed that the Stars were going to do something. Now, the second half, they were a bit nervous. The refereeing decisions didn't go away. And then you could hear the Ghanaians trying to boo, that whole woo thing. Trying to do what the English would do. And then till the 90th minute, there were nervy moments getting to the end of the game. But the fans still believed that the Stars were going to get something out of the game, especially after Hurricane hit the post. That was it for them. And so post-game, I think that it was much of relief for everybody after the game. It was almost like we had run a race, the race was over, and everybody now just had to pause for a deep breath. That's how that game ended yesterday. But all in all, the English fans showed lots of respect to us after the game. English fans were shouting, hey, congratulations, Ghana, good team. Ghana, good team, yeah, good team. And, it was all fun after the game. Again, after the game, there was high security. All of a sudden, after the game, later, it moved out of the perimeter. The perimeter before you enter the pitch, before you get a ticket checked,
Yeah.
Later, once you move out, there were security men all over the place. Like there were military men all over the place. Once you walk out, you can't walk back in. Once you walk back, and it was around all the gates around the stadium, just to make sure everybody moved out. It was one of those days. The organization to see everybody out of the stadium, perfect. And I must say, it was one of those games. And the talking point continued. The banter continued outside the field until we all finally made a 30 minutes walk back to our car. It was a shorter walk this time around.
I see. That's the entire thing around the game, the security and the movement and all. I know that it's a far cry if we compare what we do here to what you experienced there. For you, what was the biggest standout thing? The thing that you still think about this morning, the biggest takeaway from just the entire experience of parking, walking half an hour, getting into the stadium, coming back, and just experiencing all of those things. What's the biggest thing that has stayed with you up until this morning?
Well, Nathan, for me, the biggest thing was the crowd and how it was managed. The crowd and how it was managed. Nathan, almost everything around getting into the stadium, finding your way around the stadium, everything was managed perfectly. Look, people had tickets. You'd see lots of people going to the gate, but from the scanning point to finding your seat, finding where you need to go, Nathan, there was nothing like a queue. There was nothing like the chaos we'll deal with where you see people trying to scale over a wall to get into the stadium. It was almost as if, everything had been pre-done. If there's a word like that. It was almost like we were even doing a simulation to see how it would work. Almost like they've done it before, and it was just okay, fine. Yes, we've done the dress rehearsal, so this is the game. Let it go. Because you would find absolutely no issue, and if you needed help, there was always help for you. There were always people you could talk to. I had an issue with my media accreditation.
Okay.
Myself and Morris Kwanzaa, good morning to him wherever he is. One volunteer took her time to take us through every single process until it was rectified. And that was within like 25 minutes.
Okay.
And everything around was helpful. I mean, it was one of the things that shocked me. I'm like, wow, this is proper organization. And for me, it's the organization that stood out for me. The level, the details, how they paid attention to details. Look, even the colors on our passes, the accreditation we had, every single color meant something, and everybody understood it. It was just brilliant to watch. And I mean, I know that these are things that if we want to do, we can. It just means that we'll just commit a lot more resources, pay a bit more attention, and possibly some of these things would happen here. I don't think that, those who make some of these things happen are magicians. It just takes proper planning, lots of investments, and some of these things can be done. But that notwithstanding, I mean, in our part of the world, we would always have our own issues when we were there. But Nathan, in terms of how that crowd was managed yesterday, super.
Wonderful stuff.
We're talking about close to 64,000.
Okay. How full was the stadium?
Well, yeah, I think by the time the game ended, and yesterday I saw a funny comment said even spectators, Ghana, England board draw. It was 64,000, close to 64,000. Because it was on the screen in two halves. Okay. So almost like the Ghana part of the screen had the 63,000 and change, and then the England part had 63,000 and change. And the fan said, spectators in Ghana and England board draw. But it was one of those. It was near 64,000, near full capacity. But I mean, we had a lot of fun in the stadium. The stadium announcers also made it quite exciting. There were things we saw during the halftime that we didn't see on TV. So Nathan, during the halftime, there's a dance camera.
Okay.
I don't know if you've watched it. Dance camera.
Okay.
So camera pans into one side of the stadium, and whoever it catches dancing will be on the screen for a few minutes, and then it goes round. And the whole music thing. There was this music bit where Ghanaian music was played at a point in time in the stadium. Now, the famous Kakalika was there. There was a bit of Azonto. There was a Stoneboy song as well. Yeah. So all of those things lit up the atmosphere even before the game started. So, it was quite exciting to see all of these things happen. It was all Ghana yesterday, and I mean, once you got into the stadium, you could get a feel that Ghana was there, Ghana was present, and wow, it was a brilliant atmosphere.
Wonderful. The locals, how have they embraced the fact that the World Cup is in town? I mean, you've been there about a day and a half. Do you get the sense of how the locals feel about the fact that the World Cup is in town? Are they excited about it, or some people are still living in a bubble and don't understand everything that is taking place?
Well, yesterday when I was coming back, my final leg, I mean, of course, I didn't move to the stadium immediately after. So in my final leg, when I was coming back, I was in my lift, and then I asked the driver if he's been paying attention to the World Cup. He said, he couldn't report that he was trying to find his cash. Yes, but largely, I think that a lot of the people have welcome, a lot of people feel something is happening. A lot of people feel, the spectacle is nice. They want to go and see, because all sorts of people are coming in, all sorts of cultures, all sorts of, things people are doing. And so they seem to be interested, because even if you pay attention to how people were offering their homes just to allow people to park, for a fee, these are things that would happen possibly during NFL games, okay? But how widespread it was. Almost everybody was taking part. Everybody was allowing their homes to be used. Everybody was given access to things that normally they wouldn't have given access to. And so I think that the Americans themselves, they are beginning to feel that, yes, football is really a big deal, because the football can bring so many people into their country. It's really a big deal. Prior to this, of course, it's their NBA, it's their NFL, it's their baseball and all, but you can gradually tell that they are beginning to feel that football is very powerful. Football has become powerful. And, if they never knew this, I think that this World Cup has brought something different to America with regards to how they see football. And I think that, it could only get better after this. Of course, you'd have a few people who are indifferent because, I mean, they love what they love. But largely, I think Americans have embraced this. You get into shops, you see World Cup paraphernalia there. You would see, a few souvenirs here and there, talking about the World Cup. Unlike the airports, interestingly, when we got to the Boston airport, there was nothing about the World Cup at the airport. It was quite shocking. But of course, some of these things are privately managed one way or the other. So, I mean, you can't fault them. But I think that largely the Americans know that something is happening in their country, and they seem to be excited. I remember when we got in, everybody was asking, "Oh, Ghana go beat England, Ghana go beat England." Right from the airport, people were talking about that, because once they saw, even on the plane, the Americans on the plane would realize that, oh yeah, all of you are going to America to watch the World Cup. So, I mean, I think that they are embracing it. It could only get better after the World Cup, especially depending on how the Americans perform at the tournament. I think that a lot more of them would catch on, and a lot of them were in the stadium, a lot of them were in the stands yesterday just to watch what was going to happen. So, I think that largely, the mindset will change because what's happening is beautiful, and the Americans seem to love it themselves.
All right, Ray, thank you so much. What's the plan for the rest of the day? What will you be up to?
Yeah, so later today, we'll go back to the team hotel. So yesterday we were at the team hotel. Mm-hmm. The players excited. They go back quite tired, especially after that battle they went into. So they went straight up to their rooms. A few officials here and there spoke to us. We had some interesting conversations. I saw a good friend, Aminu Sado.
Your brother.
Yes, my brother. Mm-hmm. Yes, and I caught up with Nanuki and Kawawa there. I think I caught up with Gary, in the Media Tribune thereabouts. Mm-hmm. Yes, the way he was in a hurry because he had to get to inside.
Yes,
so
yes.
it was quite exciting after the game, seeing everybody full of smiles. Now, yesterday after the game, everybody said, "Look, whatever happens, we qualified." So we can't be bothered what anybody thinks anymore. Whether anybody thinks that our brand of football is not nice or not, they don't care. All they know is that, look, they are playing to progress to the next stage of the competition. So the brand of football, I think, Nathan, I mean, the football, I'm sure you have had extensive conversation around.
Yes.
I think that, this is 40 years of coaching experience we are seeing. So no comments.
All right, Ray, thank you so much. You stay safe. We'll catch up later. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Sure, Nathan, have a good day. And once again, big shout out to the guys out there. Solid job yesterday. I was following the watch parties, and yesterday I wish I was because I knew something was definitely going to happen in Accra yesterday. I'm sure the boys had a good time.
Yeah.
Especially being at the University of Ghana Stadium the first time, I knew exactly what would be happening in Ghana yesterday. A big shout out to the guys. Solid job you guys are doing out there, and I wish you all the best.
All right, Ray, thank you so much. Stay safe. My colleague Raymond Nyamado connecting with us from Boston. All right, we'll be wrapping it up in a second, but just a quick reminder of the matches on display, or the matches that will be featured today. Bosnia and Qatar at 7 p.m. Bosnia and Qatar at 7 p.m. I love it. Switzerland and Canada also at 7 p.m. because the final round of group match